Maddie, Russell Wilson goes to Denver, and they become Super Bowl contenders here. He's going to be in that spotlight, a bright, bright spotlight last 3 weeks of the season against the Rams, the Chiefs, the Chargers. Does their schedule towards the end of the year maybe increase their chance for an MVP with some big games at the end of the season? It's hard to believe he's never received a vote for MVP.
That is pretty wild because he's certainly had some great seasons.
Yeah.
I spent a decent amount of time like trying to figure out the MVP last year, and honestly, I'm not sure that the last stretch of the season matters as much as the middle. So the recent performance towards the end is going to skew the minds of voters a little bit. I think the first half of the season almost gets thrown out, and the narratives start to form like after the midpoint. But by like weeks 14 and 15, I think a lot of people have kind of just made up their minds. And unless something truly extraordinary happens at the end, I think that the favorites are kind of established by like the third quarter of the regular season. So to me, it actually would be more beneficial if Wilson were to have those tough games in, let's say, like weeks 12, 13, and 14, where I think more of the sentiment for the MVP is formed in that window. All of that is to say, like, I think Wilson is certainly in it. There are many, many good candidates. Like, I don't have a bet on anyone yet. And who knows what kind of reasons there are for narratives to be created this year. But I don't necessarily think it helps him that they have tough games at the end of the season.
Yeah, fifth best odds here, plus 1,400 on the DK Sportsbook, Mr. Pratt. Like, if he leads the Broncos to the playoffs, do you like how these odds shape up?
Maybe, and it's mostly because I'm not sold on Denver as contenders. To me, they line up as the worst team in the AFC West. Obviously, things can change, and if Russ immediately acclimates to that Broncos offense, they could make some noise this year. The problem with Russ and his various MVP campaigns that have come up short over the years is that he does tend to tail off in the second half of the season. That might not necessarily happen in Denver, but if they get beat up to start the year, this could be an uglier season than most people expect. If everything goes well and he balls out in those 3 weeks against 3 Super Bowl contenders, he could definitely win MVP. I just don't think it's that likely.